see you go out.
Good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome into the Philly Friday Frenzy. I'm Big Al here on the It's a Rap Sports Network, bringing you Fridays the way they're meant to be. Fun, energetic, and just kind of wrapping up the week, guys. We are less than a week away to the Phillies home opener. World Baseball Classic is over. The boys have rejoined the squad. Howie's still making moves. Looking like, playing. I still think playing chess when others are playing checkers. I like what he's been doing so far. I know it hasn't been there's been no splashy offseason moves. I know we're tired of waiting about the AJ Brown news. What's going to happen? When's it going to happen? Is it going to happen? We'll find out. Time will tell. I'm not really worried about it, but I really hope he's still here. But we'll talk about that as time goes on. But I really want to talk about the Phillies. Talk about some of the positives. What are we positive about the Phillies? Has your opinion changed about the Philadelphia Phillies going into the 2026 season? Have you seen anything from some of the moves that maybe you thought were like the Adolis Garcia move? Like, were you just like, another, high ceiling, low risk, high reward, feel from him? It looks like he made some changes in his stance, and he's. Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? He's Nick Castellanos, but as a better defensive player. He's known for his free swinging, but he's willing. He's Nick Castellanos, willing to bend a little, willing to know that I'm not doing well with this current swing. I got to be better, and he made an adjustment, and so far, small sample size, spring training, it has been successful. Did you guys like the World Baseball Classic? I want to hear about that. What were your guys' thoughts on the World Baseball Classic? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you care? Did you get excited? Because I'll be honest with you, I got really excited with that. I know I poo-pooed on it from the sake of having our players in it. Still didn't love that. But, watching Dante Nori, maybe help him kind of skyrocket quicker and faster from an outfielder perspective. Can't say that my Italian heritage didn't come out when Team Italy was kind of just, putting the world on notice. That was kind of fun to watch too. America got cold. They were able to survive the semis, but not the finals. Venezuela just had a lot of energy, man. It almost like it felt like it meant more to them, to be honest with you. Because I'm like, America has people are telling me, World Baseball Classic is what it is. The timing of it and all that, and I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. The timing of it and all that makes a difference, but the energy levels from the all the teams except for America, because we have MLB. We are about to start the MLB season. We have the World Series and the playoffs to look forward to. Like, Venezuela doesn't get a chance to shine. Mexico doesn't get a chance to shine. Italy definitely doesn't get a chance to shine. I like that they're trying to bring baseball into Italy. And I know, listen, if I could have played for that team with my Italian heritage if I could play a lick of professional baseball. Like, that's just the way they were doing it this year. But that's good. Get some juice going for some Italian players and bring them in. Get like a national team. That would be really cool. I'm not against the World Baseball Classic. I'm not against baseball in the Olympics. Just against my guys playing in the middle or about the beginning of a season, and possibly hurting them. But I'm going to talk about the Bryce Harper effect. Was that a positive? Even though they didn't win, it wasn't a big win, but he was able to tie the game up, hit in a clutch moment, tie the game up to give a chance for Venezuela. Judge and them are the ones who really didn't follow up with it. But do you think there's a positive effect? Because I really do think there could be a positive effect from it. And we'll get into that a little bit. Let me say hello to everybody real quick. Hello, Star Wars 9918. Justin Crawford looks good. He does. Speedy around the base pass. Rob, what is going on, my buddy? Elephant in the room. Good evening, my friend. Star Wars is saying here is how the Phillies plan to set up the rotation to start the 2026 season. Christopher Sanchez was named the opening day starter earlier today. Who's going opening day weekend? I have that for you as well. We'll go over all that. in the moment. But yes, but there are some things that Rob Thompson did say that I did not love. Kind of same old stuff, like a left-handed platooning. Like, I want to see these guys play every day, lefty, righty, doesn't matter. Like, there's a little bit of that, and I really want to see Schwarber in that 4-hole, man. If Rob Thompson was right here right now, if I was if he was on the screen with me, if I was able to bring him in, I would beg him. I'm talking fall to my knees, beg him. Please, can we just try for the first 8 weeks Schwarber in the 4-hole? Just for the love of God, can we try it? I'm in on Otto Kemp. I really like his bat. He reminds me of Dan Uggla. That's yeah. No, I like Otto Kemp. I like the cut of his jib, as they will say, elephant in the room. I like the way he plays. He plays hard. He plays like one team. He injects that youth movement. Um, I do like that he's going to be most likely. I mean, I think he is on the squad all but unless he falls apart or gets hurt or something. And he's part of that left-handed rotation. Let me see if I have that queued up here. So to answer, we're kind of going to answer both questions. So Star Wars asked, if Christopher Sanchez is the opening day starter, so the rotation will be Aaron Nola as the 2 guy. Now let me ask you this question: is Aaron Nola the 2 guy, which would be the 3 guy if Wheeler was here, right? But Aaron Nola being the 2 guy, is that because of his World Baseball Classic, pitching performance? Did he kind of get that? Not just we're like, well, should we do Jesus Luzardo or should we do Christopher or Aaron Nola? And like, you know what? He played really well. He looks like. I mean, that's where I'm a little excited. So like, that's what part of my list. My excited list. I know it's a small sample size. It doesn't mean nothing, but maybe Aaron Nola a little back to form. I said if he can be a solid 2-3 guy, I mean, he's getting paid like a number 1. Don't get me wrong, but if he can be a 2 guy who's pitching in the 3-man third spot in the rotation, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. When Wheeler comes back, Taijuan Walker's out of this rotation. Andrew Painter's your number 5 guy. That's awesome. I mean, I like what I've seen from him so far. I mean, again, it's spring training. They got guys who, aren't going to be playing in the minors or in the majors when it comes to it, and let's see what happens when he's in front of the Phillies crowd and he's making that, that first start. See how he reacts. That's going to be a big difference. But I like what I've seen so far. Looks healthy. Looks like he's going to be able to do what we assumed he could do. And what I was telling you about that lineup strategy, Thompson indicated a new plan for facing left-handed pitchers, which would involve starting Amundo Sosa at second base. So that means Bryson Stott, who has been having a hell of a spring training, might I add, and Otto Kemp in left field. Don't hate that. I don't hate that. And maybe Otto Kemp being patient is the Brandon Marsh replacement if he can bat well against not just lefties. I wouldn't hate that either. But I mean, maybe it's the excitement of the start of the season for me, getting a little giddy like a little kid. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. Orion Kirkry made his first Grapefruit League appearance, so that after recovering from his hamstring, Garcia has been getting a lot better. That's good to see. And there's just I don't know. I'm a little bit more excited than maybe I was January. When all the started talking about all the different possibilities the team could add on. Congrats to Eagles backup QB Tanner McKee and his wife Lauren. They had a baby boy named Bryson Tanner McKee. Okay, congratulations. Hopefully he didn't lose his number 2 spot to the Red Rifle, which we'll talk about that in a moment. Probably just split up the lefties. It is possible Wheeler steps back as the number 2 when he's healthy. So, I mean, Elephant, there's a possibility. I'm not saying that can happen. If he's healthy and he's pitching even close to what he's been pitching, he's going to be the number one guy. I think out of respect, out of seniority over Christopher Sanchez. But if it's Sanchez and Wheeler, or Wheeler and Sanchez, I mean, we splitting hairs at that point. I don't know. I don't know if he's the kind of guy that's like takes offense to it. Now, come to the playoffs and you have to pick and line up pitching for the playoffs, and that maybe that's a different story. That's a different story. Maybe he feels a certain kind of way then. I think Will be back to his old self. I really hope so. I mean, I just know how that what's it called? Surgery, thoracic outlet surgery can be a real bear. Stubbs got injured earlier today. Yeah, I know. No offense to Stubbs, but I'm over the Garrett Stubbs thing. He's good for a third catcher if we need him, if we could keep him in the minors. But at this point, I think it's Marshawn's job, and he deserves it. I really think he deserves it. He's batted well when he's had the chance, and maybe he gets a little bit more chance this year. Especially, I really hope that's another thing on my wish list that I hope they'll give. They give him a little bit more time at catcher. Give JT a little bit more time to rest in between. Maybe I don't know if you just take 5 more games, 8 more games, 10 more games. I don't know 10, but something like that. If that's 10 more games, whatever, from JT and give him to Marshawn, is that such a bad thing? Yeah, Lazardo's a number 3 guy. I mean, he ain't getting paid like a no number 3 guy anymore. He got that big contract, but doesn't suck to have this problem. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm over him. He's. I don't want to hear he's a locker room guy. I'm over that. You know, when I listen, you want to be a hype guy. You want to be the guy that the team rallies around. I'm okay with that. I just gotta point out, since 2023, when he was running his mouth, jumping in that pool in Arizona in the playoffs, we have not been the same. I'm not like a karma guy or a boogie oogity like spiritual guy, but you gotta admit, like that's something to look at, man. Like he just since then, a guy who hadn't even played a lick of baseball in the playoffs, he's jumping in the pool like they already won the World Series. Like he kind of jinxed us a little bit. I'm not saying that's the reason why they haven't been playing well, but I'm just over Garrett Stubbs. I think it's like a good way for the team as a whole, as an organization, to say, flush them. You know what I mean? Like just flush them. Like we don't need this old regime. Like we don't need this anymore. Like that's how I look at it. And as we get into the Phillies about to start and all that stuff, I get really excited. Like I said, I love the ballpark. I love the feel of the game. I love the the stadium being full, walking around, hitting the concession stand. I know we're gonna talk about the Harry Decay thing. Definitely gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get into that with you guys. But with the concessions, they always start dropping some new ones. Man, thank God I already have diabetes and I know already like to take care of myself, because if not, I'll be about to. Because number one, they released all these are going to be the 8 available or 8 new. I'm sorry, 8 new available Sunday helmets. So I love the fact that they brought the light blue one, like the 4th of July one from last year, with the one on the far right. The light blue with the red brim with the American flag P. That's huge. I like the Fanatic one. You can keep that Philly Connect one. Let me ask you a question, guys. Does that mean they're keeping the Philly Connect? Because I was really hoping now that they can release them that they would get rid of them. Like, because I'm over those Philly Connects, and I do the Friday show, so it's like a laughing stock at that point. They have the All-Star Game one. They have one for the All-Star Game. I think that's cool. It's like a cream color with a blue rim and the All-Star logo. Of course, the traditional red with white Phillies logo. The throwback one, now typically, usually that's a powder blue with a maroon brim and the old school Phillies P, but this time they made it cream colored. I don't hate it. It's a little different variation. The ill thing, I thought that was done. Ill? Like, that was like what people did because they couldn't do the Phillies. And they used that to make T-shirts because they couldn't make them. And then the ice cream one, so that's the brown rim, white hat with the Phillies P looking like a kind of like an ice cream cone P being dripping with chocolate and sprinkles. I think that's pretty cool. I like that personally because they have a white hat that's like that, and it looks really sweet. And I'm like usually not into wearing those kind of things personally, but the Phillies have named Christopher Sanchez as the opening day starter, followed by Aaron Nola, Jesus Luzardo, Taijuan Walker, and Andrew Painter. Yeah, no, as we went over that, I think that's what I think we all expected with the injury of Zach Wheeler. If he's that good in the locker room, he should honestly start looking into coaching. Yeah, no, I mean that's my thing is like honestly, I don't think he's in that good locker room. I mean, he was a DJ. Like, listen, I really think I'm going to put this out there. I really think that not he, that this locker room expected like, we're gonna get to the World Series. We're gonna win the World Series. Like they kind of have that. There's a little hubris with this team. Maybe now they're a little humbled, and they need to get back to that dog, that hungry dog, that 2022 had. And then sometimes, I talk about this with teams. Like take the Washington Commanders, right? The year we won the Super Bowl, they had really early success since with changing ownership. Jaden Daniels. They had some good luck go their way, and they made all the way to NFC Championship game, and then they got stomped, mollywopped, right? By the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, in case you forgot in this meantime, would led us to our second Super Bowl. But and then you saw them really fall off. You saw some injuries. You saw losing guys, not replacing guys. But the Phillies in 2022 had the same kind of problem. They were like, we thought there was going to be a trajectory, and they skyrocketed. And to be honest, we've kind of been, we are not too different than the 2008 Phillies in the sense that, except this Phillies team didn't win the World Series, kind in a small way, that, they won it. We came close. We were in it and lost it. But then we started trying to chase it again. Lost in 2009, 2010, and it started falling apart 2011. By 2012, this team was done. So this team needs a refresher without completely changing the whole format. Like that's the key thing. Like they need to change some things up. I like the Adolis Garcia move. I always liked Adolis Garcia. Maybe a change in scenery is good for him. But getting guys out of keep them in comfort zones. Like I just don't want to see Alec Boehm in the 4 hole. I just don't want to see him there. I think he would serve better in the 5 or 6 hole, right? Schwarber in the 4 hole, Schwarber behind Harper. Find somebody for that number 2 spot. Is it Bryson Stott if he can be consistent? You know what I mean? Is it Adolis Garcia if he can be consistent? Just somebody being consistent in that 2 hole spot. Somebody doesn't hit because the problem is Alec Boehm has some of the best clutch hitting at times for the Phillies over the last few years. But at the same time, he's got some of the most double plays for the Phillies. You're going to put him in the 4 hole spot, man? Come on, man. I'm over Walker. I don't want to see Walker in the rotation. Listen, I get it. Like his albatross of a contract, that is on Dombrowski, man. He made that. He has been, riding this thing to death, hoping that somehow he would have. And we've been excited to say that he's been good enough. He's not like a guaranteed loss over the last season, right? So he's out of here after this Star Wars. This is his last year with us. His contract's up, and there's no way in hell they are renewing him. And I think if they do, Dombrowski gets fired if they renew him. I don't care if he comes out and pitches every game, pitch through the World Series and wins the World Series on his own back. He ain't coming back. And I don't think anybody wants him back. I mean, he's going to get knocked down again. He's either going to be relegated to the bullpen as a long reliever if somebody has a bad game, or whatever. Maybe gets traded. Maybe he has a decent start of the season. Let's kind of hope for that. A decent start of the season, why he's filling in, why Wheeler's not here. Has a decent start. Maybe becomes a trade piece in June or July. You know, let's hope. Let's hope. I know you're tired of seeing him, and I'm over him too. But the best case scenario is that he has a decent first half of the season. That he becomes, a good five-hole guy, fifth rotation man, fourth rotation man on a team that needs some pitching depth. That maybe is making a run, but has some injuries or something, and we can get a little something from him. Maybe a prospect, get this contract off, have some health moving forward. Like that's I'll take that. I'll take that. If that's what I can get out of Walker, I'll take it. Either way, he's gone after this season. His contract, the a lot of these contracts are off. The $20 million for Castellanos that we have to swallow is off the books. He's off the books. There's a lot of big numbers coming off the books next year, which then allows them to make some moves. I've liked so far what I've seen. There's some names that are, from the bullpen standpoint that the Phillies have had. That's another place I'm kind of, you know, happy to see. Like I said, we talked about Andrew Painter and Jesus Luzardo. Of course, he's been pretty dominant. Um, Andrew Painter posting a 2.31 ERA right now. And just again, it's spring training. Kyle Backus, I don't say his name. He's been flying on the radar, lefty reliever. He's been lights out, 6 scoreless innings at one point. There's just been some names that have been flying under the radar because we kind of poo-pooed on. I don't hate our pitching staff right now. Now, give it a couple months, and we have another scenario. We have a guy gets lit up every time he goes out, and we can't let him go. It's just right now I don't see that. Like I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What's it? Trying to remember the guy's name from last year. What the hell is his name? He was a dude. He came from the Jays. I think. Oh, Jordan Romano. That's who it was. Jordan Romano. He was. I think he had like an 8 something ERA. Coming at the end of the season, he was just horrible. Like they were going to make him a closer. That guy, he couldn't pitch right if he asked him to. He was like, he was worse than Adam Eaton was in 2000, like the end of the 2007, 2008 years. Mark DeRosa is all in on managing Team USA again. That's cool. Yeah, Romano. Thank you, Elephant in the Room. But I don't hate our rotation. Like I really do. I think we have a solid bullpen. We have guys. I keep saying rotation. Solid bullpen. Like we have guys who can pitch. I mean, we have some guys. Tanner's been always good. We have a closer, guys. Let's think about that. We have a closer going into this, right? Like let's be honest. We have a closer going into this. If Romano's delivery looked wonky, no, it looked obvious to the hitters. Like they were like chatting it up, like giggling with little schoolgirls when they would go at the bat and they'd come back in from like, hey, listen, man, like he just throws these meatballs right down the middle. Just watch when he releases here, it's coming straight down the middle, like right down Broadway. Like they were like, they really like were on to him. But we have a closer, we have a God's given closer for the first time in the beginning of the season since I don't know how long. I don't know how long. That's huge. Jose Alvarado, question mark. Is Jose Alvarado okay without the juice? He's a high leverage, set up left-hand pitcher. You got Brad Keller who could do that for righties. I like Brad Keller. I like what I've seen so far. If Orion Kirkering, as long as he's okay up here, could be really good. But and then Tanner Banks, high leverage, left-handed pitcher. But yeah, like I said, Kyle Kyle Buckus, how you say his name, he's been kind of been like turning heads a little bit. Lou Trevino, there's some names out there who have really kind of might have solidified this bullpen. If Wheeler comes, if Wheeler comes back predominantly healthy, this could be huge from a pitching standpoint. Now it's the hitting, and I wonder the organization could the Nick Castellanos situation be the reason the Phillies, as a whole, organizationally, team, managers, the whole 9 yards, kind of find themselves, for lack of better words, they kind of find themselves in the sense that they know what they've been doing wrong. Kind of like I said, it's been hubris for this team. Like, the postseason will come. When we get to the postseason, we'll turn it on. We'll just run through it right to the World Series. Like, this team has had that hubris around, which there's nothing wrong with thinking like a winner. There really isn't. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But when you assume you're a winner, that's where the problem comes in. And this team, since 2023, has assumed they're winners. 2023, they kind of thought they were going to the World Series. We had Arizona in the bag, and they completely shat the bed. And since that bed has stayed shat in. 2024, we saw the Mets series. That was just that should have been the complete downfall. But last year, if you want to kind of find I don't know, silver lining of last year, if you want to kind of they kind of got walloped early. Not walloped, but they fell behind, right? They fell behind early in the series with the Dodgers, but they were one bad mucked play from Orion Kerkering from having another chance to beat the Dodgers. So I'm not sitting here telling you this team's complete and this team's destined for the World Series. I know somebody's creaky coffin will open up if I start saying that. But maybe this is the season they learn. Right? You cut off Nick Castellanos. The organization said F $20 million. I don't care. But get him out of here. He's going to disrespect the team. He's going to disrespect the organization. He's going to disrespect the manager. We want him out. We want him out. And, again, I said it did not look like anybody in that locker room really gave a shit about Nick Castellanos leaving. So maybe it'll be good. Like, a guy that, we got a guy like Garcia who's trying to reinvent himself. You got a guy in, Bryce Harper who had a little chip on his shoulder. And again, I'm going to ask you guys, nobody really answered the question for me yet. The World Baseball Classic, that 2-run home run, I know they lost, but he tied the game. It was like the guys behind him who lost it. That wasn't the Phillies, but that was a Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, he is, he's a little, didn't have a great baseball classic. But is that a catalyst? Because, like, listen, I know he heard it. And yes, Michael P., I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be opening up the lines probably in a few minutes. He heard the not elite, and a good player takes that and runs with it and proves you that he is elite. But it's been a while since we really seen clutch Bryce Harper. Is it a catalyst for Bryce Harper to kind of, I'm not going to sit you and turn around and say, like, the 2022, 21, 22 Bryce Harper, 23 Bryce Harper before he got injured, all the bunch of injuries. But is it the thing that Bryce Harper needed to say, you know what, MFers, I can be clutch. Not be cocky about it, but just be like, I know I can still do it, and I proved I can, and on a big stage, I can still do it. Is there some benefit to that, or is it just me being excited about the beginning of the Phillies season because I always get excited. Listen, man, I got excited in the late '90s, like which there wasn't much to be excited about with that team. Early 2000s until Jim Tomei came in. Like really, and Mike, I don't blame you for thinking they're a third place team. Is it third place in the division, third place in the um, NL, or third place overall in the major leagues? Like where does your third place fall into? And you know what I'm going to do? Why I wait for you guys to answer some of those questions? I will throw the link to open the lines into the what's it called? The chat here. Chat. Hello, chat. Third place NL East. Okay. Um, but is there anything that you saw in spring training in the World Baseball Classic from guys maybe you didn't really know much about or really didn't expect much of that have given you early on a little juice to feel a little better about this team? I think the home run will definitely give Bryce some confidence, gave me confidence, to be honest. Yeah, like that's kind of the first thing that popped in my mind, elephant in the room. Like it's the first damn thing that popped in my mind that I'm like, I think I tweeted out, I said, I need this. Phillies fans need this. Bryce needed this to remind him that he is Bryce Harper because he really hasn't been Bryce Harper. He's been either kind of injured oft where he's missed time or he hasn't come up big in moments um, and has kind of had a chance to prove that he's elite. Did he get that moment to allow him to go, you know what, maybe I am elite? Maybe like you saw him hugging the Venezuela guys, which was huge class act for him. Huge class act for him. Because, I mean, usually at the end of games, the losing team just goes away. And the winning team, now I know they were doing the silver medal thing. And the funny thing is they're getting their silver medals and they weren't happy. And I'm okay with that. Maybe Cohen coming up short as a team, but was that the perfect storm of things for the Phillies as an organization and Bryce Harper? Bryce Harper had his clutch moment, but they didn't win. So he didn't have a championship, a gold medal to kind of hang his hat on if, we didn't win the World Series this year. Now he's hungry. Now he wants to be up on that stage. Now he wants to be hoisting those trophies. Now he wants to be winning. Like, was it kind of the perfect storm that allows him to feel a taste of defeat, but at the same time be heroic and allow him to feel that he's capable of doing again? And because we all know if Bryce Harper gets going, the whole team gets going. Like it's just how it works. That's big. That's really big. And I don't know. It gave me some more excitement. I think some of the players making changes like Adolis Garcia. I think some of these pitchers coming out of the woodwork that we didn't really see coming. The Wheeler looking, like everything's moving forward for him not to be out too long. A lot of those things have been giving me a little pause to reflect and say, all right, let's take this one game at a time and maybe our team has a fight in them that any other team has and a chance to do so. Rob, you think Harper's going to be better this season? That's fair, and I think this will be best for him. So I'm going to be bringing on my man right now in just a second, Mikey Papernick. I love him because he's going to come at me, and I love every last second of that. Mikey, bring the heat. I hope. But as you guys know, the phone lines will be open when Mike comes off. I will leave him on a little longer. We will touch on some Eagles stuff, of course, because this technically will be your last Philly Friday Frenzy for a while, where it's just talking about the Phillies, talking about the Eagles, because come next Friday, well, actually, no, it won't be. Next Friday won't be the last one because there is no game next Friday. But the following Friday, it will be part of the Phillies post-game show / Philly Friday Frenzy all in one thing. So it'll be the post-game show. So I wanted to throw that out there in the middle of it. My friend.
What up, Al? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Okay, no, because I'm at my job and the school I work in. Sometimes it's hit and miss with the commute with the headset I got on. Listen, what I'm talking about. Here's the thing with Harper. I heard you. You were saying about could that have woke him up, whatever. The home run.
Mhm.
Well, didn't he only have like three or four hits in the whole or five like in the whole WBC? He didn't have many hits. And who did he have bat? He had Judge,
Mhm.
Schwarber,
Mhm.
Witt,
Yep.
and he still couldn't produce.
Yep. Listen,
And
I'm
then
not. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying is it wasn't the perfect storm in the sense that it's what he needed to know that he can in the moments that he needs to be, even when things have not been going his way. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm not. He did not. If listen, here's my problem. If he had a really good World Baseball Classic, let's play devil's advocate. Say he was hitting over 300. He
Mhm.
was, and then he had that two-run home run to tie the game up. Win or lose didn't make a difference. You know what would happen is he would come in baseball. He would come in the season just dead cold, right?
I,
Dead cold.
I,
And then it'd be like just like Trey Turner was after the World Baseball Classic 3 years ago, right? So maybe it was kind of like the perfect storm to allow him to be to. I mean, he's rejoined the team already, and he's been productive so far since rejoining the team, since hitting that two-run home run. So, like I said, I'm not sitting there telling you it's going to fix all problems. But those are the kind of things that can get a guy a little right who need to be right.
okay. Well, besides that, before that home run, what was the last big thing he's done? Actually,
He had the one RBI. Oh, you mean in the
no.
WBC?
Yeah. In general, in general, what is he
Not much.
since that big hit? What is he? What name the last big hit he's had? Really, big thing
Since
that's done.
2023. 2023 was
Okay.
his last in the
Uh,
postseason. Was when they were playing Arizona. No, was it the? No, he was hitting against Arizona too before they fell apart. But like, was that the Attaboy year?
I
Was that
can't
the Braves?
remember, but
Was that the Braves Attaboy? I think that was the Braves Attaboy year. Um, and I'm telling you, I like it's been that wild. I said that earlier. I don't know if you were listening when I said it. Um, but I, excuse me, this team kind of had a bit of a hubris since then. Like they are going out there, like, oh, we're going to be there no matter what. And then we saw 2023 how they fell apart, and Arizona just said, it's not going to throw them anything they can hit over the fence because if they can't do that, they're useless. And then 2024, they just completely shot the bed against the Mets because they're like, oh, it's the Mets. We'll go up against the Mets. We'll beat the Mets. The Mets will Mets. And they didn't. And they didn't. And then, of course, last year, last season, I said, or last playoffs, I said, the one silver lining that came out of it that they were down. They could have got mollywopped by the Dodgers in the sense that the offense didn't really turn it on, but they were one bad play away from one mucked ball play away from possibly getting another chance to take the Dodgers down, even being down as far as they were. So I'm just saying, is this the right? Is the Phillies projecting in the right way in the sense that they are going to be a better team? They are going to make them change the mistakes that they've been making throughout the years and kind of get that hubris out of the locker room.
well, I don't know because the blueprint Arizona put the blueprint out there in the
Mhm.
pennant. Just throw crap and everybody, and it's like an infection. I mean,
Mhm.
the Mets did it. An infection. Okay, it was a little bit last year. Maybe in the playoffs, not as much, but it was. But which there ain't much. No, they don't look on paper. To me, they're a World Series team or bust, but they're third place. Just remember this: the Braves for the last 2 years have been hurt. Are we
Mhm.
banking on the Braves for a third season to be hurt again?
I'm not banking on it, but I mean, what have the Braves
That's
done this year? What have the Braves done so far to really scare you?
nothing. They've been hurt.
Yep.
They've lost Riley. They lost Acuna. They lost Albies. They've lost every star. But and the Phillies and the World Series year. Just think about this: the pennant year. The Dodgers weren't in it. The Braves weren't in it. That was the year the Phillies should have been to the World Series and won it. After that, the Braves have been hurt. I mean, I ain't gonna say they won the division by default, but I mean,
I hear you.
it's kind of been like that. Now, I'll tell you what I did tell Maddie last night. Okay, even though Harper is spring training, could he have a good year? Yes, it could have a good year. Yes, he could. Here's the excuse that I hear from a lot of people. He has nobody batting behind him. Now,
Mhm.
I'll go. And this is what you can look this up. Eugenio Suarez played for the Arizona Diamondbacks last year, right?
Mhm.
He had the guy in front of him was Marte. Only had 19 home runs for the whole year. Naylor was behind him. Only had 11 before he got traded to Seattle. Eugenio Suarez had nobody protecting him. It had like 35 or 30, not 6 home runs or whatever, somewhere in there, before he went to Seattle with nobody protecting him. And all I hear from my friends in general, you hear from Harper has nobody protecting him. But
Listen,
this guy's hitting home runs left and right.
My personal opinion. Well, Eugenio Suarez. Let me just put that out there about Eugenio Suarez. As I watched him in the World Baseball Classic, he was a hero, right? Let's take it for what it's worth.
Well, I didn't watch it, so I couldn't tell you.
Listen, man, it was actually a good product, to be honest with you. It was. All right, put it this way: did you watch the Olympics hockey?
No, I watched the last game. I didn't watch only watched the last game. I don't get into the Olympics otherwise. No.
I don't watch. I care less about the Olympics, to be honest with you. But I will watch Olympic hockey for the most part. And the reason I really don't care about watching the first few rounds is because it's usually a slaughtering, right? It's usually just a complete slaughtering until you get to Canada and America. And if Russia played, they probably would have been a good team too. But other than that, it's pretty lopsided, right? The World Baseball Classic should have been like that, but really wasn't. So that was a plus. Team Italy was a good surprise. I want to go buy a Team Italy jersey or something.
Oh yeah,
I was having a good time watching. I'm an Italian man, so of course
Dante Nori should be on this team.
I think Dante Nori will be on the
should be starting.
Yeah,
should be.
I think you'll see him in the AAA, in the Iron Pigs before you know it. And maybe, just maybe, he makes his way up. I doubt it. That's usually not the Phillies' forte.
No, it isn't.
No, but it was nice to see him go. But he went up against real talent, and he did well. They didn't just he didn't just do good against bad teams. He did well. I mean, I think he was one of the highest batting percentages in the whole WBC the entire time. And they went to the semis, so it's not like they had some good games against some bad teams and then just kind of the bed. They did well. Yeah. Elephant in the room said the Braves have a few injuries in the rotation. They lost Profar for the entire year. Mets are going to Mets. Listen, the Mets are going to Mets too, but we got to be careful with that a little bit. They did add, another really good player, but that's what they do is they kind of go too far with the adding really good players, but don't add a good cohesive team. But the Braves always seem to find guys that play well. But
there it is.
I right now in my eyes, the Phillies are the second in the division, maybe behind the Mets right this second. But if the Mets, then I think they are still a hair. I'm not saying a lot, Mike. I will disagree. I think they're still a hair above the Braves right now.
Because the Braves, their pitching staff. But here's the thing with the Braves, what they do.
Big thing.
They're not afraid to bring. They're not afraid to bring Double-A guys up.
No, they're not. But that doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah, but that center fielder. Who's that center fielder? Michael, whatever his name is. Whatever his name is. That center fielder they brought. He was a Double-A guy. Austin Riley, I think, was a double. Or he played a couple games in AAA. They brought him. That's what the Phillies don't do. I mean,
listen,
who does Dante Nori or Rincones Jr. have blocking him? Brandon Marsh. He's blocking them.
Yeah, I think this is Marsh's last year, and if he doesn't do well, I would not be surprised. Listen, they've already announced. Now, here's the thing: is Topper's still doing some Topper things that's annoying even me. To a point. But this whole left rotation, so he's giving Otto Kemp some more time. So you're gonna see a little less Brandon Marsh. So Brandon Marsh is kind of in my eyes on the hot seat.
But here's the thing. Why do you want to see Otto Kemp running around the left field? Think about this. Okay,
I like his bat, and if he could play left field, that's okay with me.
Yeah, but think about this. Ryan Howard had a guy in Jim Thome blocking him, a legit star Hall of Famer blocking him.
Sure.
Brandon Marsh and Kemp aren't stars, aren't Hall of Famers, aren't none of
Walker's still here because
look. There's only
it's Dombrowski not willing to admit like the guy didn't work out as well as he was hoping.
Well, we know Walker's here because the money. That's one. Marsh is here because he's still trying to. I didn't at the time. I thought it was a good trade for both teams. Marsh is coming. I didn't know much about Logan O'Hoppe. Okay, but he's trying to justify that trade.
Logan O'Hoppe, he hasn't really done much in my eyes to say that he's even much better than Brandon Marsh.
But
now,
Marsh, but
he's one team, and don't get me wrong. But what does Logan O'Hoppe what does Logan O'Hoppe have done? I want you to finish what you're saying. I'm going to pull up Logan O'Hoppe's stats.
Well, what I'm saying is, Brandon, there's nobody blocking Norrie or Vincones Jr. If Brandon, I get it. You got to justify. You're justifying the trade. But this isn't a star. This isn't a guy who made the All-Star game or he batted 285 last year or he did this. No.
Yeah.
Start Norrie, start Vincones, make Marsh a platoon guy. What's so hard about that? Rojas would have made this team. Think about that. Rojas would have made this team. If Rincones was with the Braves, he'd be playing. If Norrie was with the Braves, he'd be playing. If Aidan Miller was on that team, he'd be playing.
I don't know if they'd be playing just yet, unless they didn't have an option out there.
Well, their outfield,
he had success, but literally they just drafted him in 2024. But I would not be surprised because the Phillies have been doing this a little lately. If you see him rise up the ranks pretty quickly towards AAA.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the thing. What they use, and I get it. It's not an excuse, but it's the cliche thing to say. Well, sure. we don't want him on the bench. He has to get some, playing time. So they send him to AAA. Again, who is blocking him in left field? Brandon Marsh.
It's the unknown. It's really the unknown. Who's listen. Brandon Marsh is the only thing that they kind of know. Otto Kemp is probably going to give him a bit of a run for his money.
Dante Norrie just produced.
Yeah, but Dante Norrie's produced in the World Baseball Classic for a short time. You got to make sure he's not lightning in the bottle, right? If he can go and do that in AAA for a couple months, then fine, bring him up. I'm all about it. But I'm not against leaving him down in because he hasn't played past single A ball, Clearwater or not Clearwater.
Okay, so this is your lineup next year. This is going to be your lineup. Turner, Schwarber, Harper. Now I would put Baum fourth, but it's gonna be Baum, Garcia, Marsh, batting sixth.
You think they sign Baum next year?
No. Baum's gonna be gone. Miller will be here, unless they get rid of Stott. Unless they trade Stott, then maybe you might see Baum. But the Phillies are and then you're gonna have batting six is Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is not a six hitter in this lineup because you can't put JT 6 because then you'll have lefty, lefty, lefty. You can't do that. They're not going to do it. So Brandon Marsh is going to be batting sixth in this lineup. Gilbert Rincones, guys take some time, and he's still young. The guy's a power hitter. Bring him up. Why not? What's the? They're going to.
I'm not disagreeing with. I would rather see Rincones. He was kind of the guy I was keeping my eye on. I'm like, ooh, he might be a guy that gives Brandon Marsh a run for his money. You know what I mean? Listen, the Phillies as an organization are unwilling to pull the cord or pull the trigger on guys like that. It's just it frustrates me. I'm not arguing with you at all, Mikey P. I'll tell you right now, I am far from arguing with you on this.
Don Brown. I'll use Don Brown as the example.
Nobody was screaming louder than trade him now than I was. I saw the writing on the wall.
They wouldn't trade him for Holiday.
Yeah.
Remember he was untouchable for Holiday?
Yeah.
All of them, then they finally did it. Then they finally pulled the trigger.
I mean, if you really think about it, if you really think about this, if you go back in time, right? Go back in the last, say, to 2000, so 26 years, right?
Okay.
What Phillies trade have they pulled off where they traded for something and got players back that really – we saw Philippe Aumont pitch in the World Baseball Classic for the Canadians who came out of retirement. He was the biggest piece we got for the Cliff Lee trade.
Did they trade for Polanco, or did they sign Polanco?
Hold on, I have to tell you. I'll tell you right now. That's a good question. But when was the last time they traded? I think Amundo Sosa was the last decent trade they made that the guy was useful. I'm not going to sit you say he was great, but he was useful.
Well, no, I'm with you on that one. Probably. Well, the JT trade, the JT. That's That's probably the best trade, I think.
Well,
Well,
Sixto, because you're probably right. Sixto, because Sixto turned out to be complete nothing.
okay. The best trade in Phillies history is probably Steve Carlton when they got him from the Cardinals.
I'm saying the last
that's probably the greatest trade of all time.
When was the last time they traded somebody and got something really in return for it?
Holiday.
Holiday. Yeah.
For Don Brown. That was the Don Brown trade, was it?
Yeah, and I'm actually trying to think more during the season too.
I guess during the season. Oh, Jesus. The pitcher they got from Oakland, Joe. When the 08 team, Joe something. What the hell was his name? He's a starting pitcher. He pitched for 08, and then
Blanton?
No, I can't remember his name. Joe Blanton. Yeah, Joe Blanton. He pitched well.
Joe Blanton. No, he pitched
well. He pitched well for them
in the World Series. Remember he hit a home run in the World Series?
Yeah.
I was in that outfit.
So
if you look at the video close enough, you can see me.
Here's the thing. Look, Garcia's on a 1-year contract. Then you got Marsh. Okay, so what next year it could be Nori and Racone's out there. Okay. Like I've always told my buddy, who I always talk sports every day, one of them I grew up with.
So just so you know, the Scott Rowland trade brought in Polanco.
Okay, you can't keep spending $400 or $500 million a year. You got to get a couple guys so you can save money. Mm-hmm. You know, the bombs. I'm saying you save money. What I mean is, you're not spending $25 million. The bombs, the Stotts, they got the Crawfords. This is how you save your money. This is you don't have, Painter. If Painter pans out, you don't have to pay him for 3, 4, 5 years. 3, 4 years probably.
Yeah. No, you got about 3, 4 years of arbitration for him. The Christopher Sanchez signing is the greatest signing of Phillies all time. Like, just from production versus how much you pay a guy. In this time of year, like if you do the inflation calculator with it all, like we're paying this guy peanuts. He's going to have to get bonus or something if he continues to pitch the way he is.
Well, I want to tell you something. He's salivating because he saw what Luzardo got. He's going to get a Nola money, or a little bit more than Nola. Now, you know what I mean? That's what he's going to get. He's going to get like a 5-year deal, something like that. 7. I would give him a 5-year deal. But that. The CBA's coming.
4-year deal.
Now
he's good. We don't have to worry about him until 2028 on his current deal.
I get that, but
he will get paid. Don't get me wrong.
They're going to have to pay him before. They're going to pay him after. They have to. There's no way you can hold that guy like that.
Let me tell you this right now. Ready? Here you go. You ready for this? 2025. Guess what he's getting paid? He got paid last year.
I think it's like $5 million, wasn't it?
Nope. 1.5 million.
1.5. See, yeah, he's salivating. His agent's salivating.
He's got a guaranteed $22 million in his whole contract till 28.
Well,
you know what he's getting paid this year? Take a shot at Doc. He's getting paid this year.
Well, if you got 1 point,
$3 million. Okay. Guess what he gets paid next year?
Probably about 4 or 5.
$6
it's got to go up.
And then 28. He's in his last final year. It's $19 million, right? Or $9 million. I'm sorry. He gets. There's a 2029 and 2030. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
They either could pay him $1 million to leave, or a team option of $14 million 1 year, $15 million the other way. So they have a team option through 2030 for $50 million. Could you imagine? I mean, like, seriously, it is the greatest contract for the Phillies. But this, you think he's salivating? He is kicking himself every day going to the bank, knowing those checks could be so much. The agent should be making what he's making in a salary on his, how old is Christopher Sanchez?
Was he 26, 27, somewhere there, probably? Yeah, he's probably around that. He can't be much older.
He's
maybe
29.
20.
He's
29.
So that means if he's 29 years old today, right?
Yeah, but he took that contract as like a prove me contract. That's what that was.
He's in a contract. He's got $15 million at most he's going to pay through 2030. That is
but the beginning of the contract.
He's going to be 33 years old when his contract's over. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is his contract when he signed it, well, he had like one or two decent years. If he was second or third, was he third in the Cy Young voting this year or something? He was top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my point. It's
Okay,
like,
so
I
if
I
he
wonder
pulls
if
out another year,
I wonder if there's anything
you
in the
don't.
contract. If he wants to sign Young, he gets like a bump or something in pay.
Well, the CBA's coming. This is what's going to happen. Look, we all know it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Harper's going to cry for more money. When I say that, he's going to want more money. You know what? I would. If I'm Dom- look, you know what? Well, this is if I'm Dombrowski, I'd tell him straight out. You signed a contract, no trade clause. Listen, when you can show me another 100 RBI season that you haven't had since 2019, maybe we talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell him. You don't like it? Well, then I don't know what to tell you. You'll show the fans what you're made of. You're either for the team or you're for the money. So,
listen, we know what they're for, dude. I mean,
oh
I
yeah.
You can easily say both, but if I can't, I don't fight for a guy. I don't fight a guy when he wants more money, when he deserves it, right? Like when he deserves
You're right.
it.
Yes.
I don't like Christopher Sanchez. If he said I ain't pitching until this contract's renewed, I kind of get it. I'm also a guy who believes in you should honor the contract you signed, no matter how well you played or didn't play.
Well, I think he will. I think
the team will do something for him. But how many times have you heard guys take Bryce Harper, for instance, take AJ Brown, for instance? I mean, if does AJ Brown, is he going to give a couple bucks back for some big drops he had in big moments last season? No.
Now here's a question. I asked Matt. Nobody knows. Did Harper name himself the showman, or was that given to him by somebody?
That might have been something he got like young too. I really don't know.
I never saw him wear anything in Washington that said showman. I never seen anything early in his career in Philly. It just started.
It might just be a brand for him. Like that might be the showman brand,
Well, then you know what? Oh, then you better show man a World Series here. I mean, I hate to say it, we're stuck. Look, this is the bad spot. This is why I like Schwarber, but he's a one-trick pony. And I said you got to sign Pete Alonso. If you want Bryce Harper healthy for the playoffs, he could play 80 games at first base and 80 games as DH. You can flip-flop him and Pete Alonso and not have to lose a bat. You can't do that with Schwarber. Nobody wants to see Schwarber running around left field. Nobody wants to see that. I don't care how good of a shape he's in. He's done. He's not that. He's and I think Schwarber carried the offense. He's going to get his 40 home runs. But Harper, it's just, I think it's in the long run, it's going to hurt him because you can't, if you DH him, you got to sit Schwarber or you got to put Schwarber in the outfield. That's the problem. And you're stuck with that.
That was my biggest problem coming into it, Mike. Like that was me and Matty B have discussed before they signed Schwarber to his big contract. We discussed this at length about. I want Schwarber back. Like I was like one of those things. Like if he comes back, I'm excited. If he doesn't come back, I also understand.
That was me. I was like that. Yeah.
But I said the only way the 150 million could be a swallowable thing for me is if he bats 4-hole. But obviously that's probably not going to happen.
Well, it's not going to happen because listen, there's the reason why is the manager, because and it was in an article a few years ago that he I forget, it was on the NBC Sports. I forget what he was saying. They asked him about when he was batting leadoff. He goes, "What do you prefer?" And he's like, "Well, I would bat fourth in the lineup, but I prefer to bat first." It's like you're playing defense. Like it's like saying, "Well, Mike Schmidt, where do you want to bat at? First or fourth in the lineup?" I mean, you're a bomber. You're the RBI guy. I give Alec Bohm credit for this. He had 2 years of 99 and 97 RBIs, wherever he had 90 plus RBIs. But if you put Schwarber batting fourth, he might have a year like he does that, like he had last year. Now,
listen, I don't disagree. I said there's too many benefits to him batting fourth, right? The benefit number one is cleanup spot. A heavy hitter like he is, that's a cleanup spot. That's the way you belong. That's baseball 101. And the fact that we think we're smarter than that's bullshit in my eyes, but that's beside the point. But I also think it's a trickle-down effect. So I don't subscribe to the Harper didn't do well because they don't have anybody backing him up. I think that's a little bit of a low-hanging fruit excuse in my eyes. So I won't disagree with you at all on that. But not just that. If you have, in my eyes, if you have Trey Turner lead off, find somebody for that 2-hole, right? Somebody could just hit consistently. If Bryson Stott continues on his hitting path, maybe him. If JT or something, anybody can hit semi-consistent. I'm not talking about bombing. I just want guys to hit singles and doubles, right? 3-hole Harper, 4-hole Schwarber. I'm okay with Bohm at 5th and 5.
Well, Bob's a good second hitter.
Adolis at 6, Brandon at 7.
Okay.
You know, it all really depends on who you bet for the rest of the way down.
Well,
that would be good to me. I'd be okay with that. But I said my biggest complaint, my biggest thing when they signed him on a $150 million contract, I sat there and I said, this is what's going to hurt us, is it's going to clog up that DH spot. You know, you're clogging up that DH spot. So that DH spot came in very handy when Harper was hurt. You know, when somebody gets hurt like that who can't play while they're healing, but they can still hit. You know, that's or give guy like JT a break. That's why I was saying earlier. I don't know if you heard me say it earlier. I'm hoping to give Marchand maybe an extra 8-10 games this year over JT.
I would.
I would prefer JT to hit in the DH spot so he can keep hitting, especially if he's hitting well. Because I'm a JT guy. I'm a huge JT fan. I think JT. I think JT is a little disrespected from an offensive production standpoint for the most part. He's probably one of the more productive offensive producers outside of like Cal Riley, things like that. You know, but for the most part, he's one of the best defensively. And from an offensive standpoint, he's a top tier guy. So I think he gets disrespected. Now, granted, I think everybody's waiting for that shoe to drop. And I think the biggest Ohapi argument a guy like Matty B can have is that now we're kind of in a position where we had to re-sign him and pay him the way we paid him at an older age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's plus minuses to it. Honestly, and can I just be honest with you? I think this team was not thrown together. Let me rephrase that. I think this team was not sought to be a championship team this year by the organization. Just certain maneuvers made me feel that way.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying they're not competing. I'm saying they're not competing full throttle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I don't think I think in today's game, like, do you mean by being championship, like win the division or win the World Series? Or win independent or just in general? Okay.
Unless they're on some sort of tear halfway through the season, the trade deadline comes and they make some moves. Like the best trade deadline was last year. You know, first time we've had we know who's going to close games in the beginning of the season. When was the last time you knew who was going to be closing?
We hope so. We hope so. I mean, in the playoffs last year, didn't Durant come in like the 7th or 8th inning and pitch like 3 innings?
Well, that was my biggest Rob Thompson, bugaboo is turning the bullpen upside down in its head in the playoffs. But Mike, I know I've let you on a little bit, but I got another guy on the line. I want to bring him.
Well, listen, hey Matt, good talking to you. I'll get with you next week because, like I said, I'm at work anyway. I'm working hard.
My friend, Mike. I appreciate you, brother. Take it easy.
Hey, you have a good night. All right, bye.
You too, bud. Well, speaking of another caller, back-to-back callers, fun to do. My man, always in the chat, Rob. Rob, what is going on, my friend?
Not much. How are you?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you got for me, bud?
Just to say hi, and can't wait to see you in person in Delco Day.
Yeah, well, Delco Day might be – there's not 100% sure that Delco Day is happening this year, but I might do something else that I will let you know about, and we'll talk about that off air.
Okay.
But I always appreciate your support. You are one of my good friends, and I appreciate that. Can you answer the question for me? I talked about it on the air. Mikey Papernick did answer it for me a little bit. Has your feelings for the Phillies currently on March 20th at 10 p.m. in the evening in the Eastern Standard Time, has your feelings for the Phillies stayed the same, got better, got worse going into the 2026 season, and why?
They got better.
Why is that? What made you feel better?
The pitching and the bullpen.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a big reason I feel confident about this team. Do you believe that the offense will make any strides? Do you like any of the new maneuvers that they brought in, the new players?
Gushy will be all right. From what I'm reading, yeah, he's going to be fine.
Well, the one thing is, and I brought this up at the beginning of the show, and I know you usually are on there in the beginning. You know, the one thing I liked that I heard about him is like what was the opposite of what we heard from Nick Castellanos was he had an approach at the plate that wasn't working. I think he tightened up his swing a little bit. He was being more pitch selective, and it's quickly within days made a decision, and it's been paying dividends. Now, granted, it's paying dividends in the spring training, so I take that with what it's worth. But ultimately, I mean, that's what I like what I see about Garcia, and I've always been a big Garcia fan. I just hate when they come here. Or, I always think the change of scenery is a big thing, but
oh yeah, it's definitely going to be help.
It doesn't always pan out that way.
You're right.
All
and
right,
thank you for calling me Bob instead of Robert. I appreciate that a lot.
I see the name up on there, and it's just like it's. But I want to change gears for a second. There has been some moves today the Eagles made. Some nothing big, but some small moves. But I think calculated moves. And I want to see if it makes you feel different about anything. So let me run through these real quick and tell me if they made you feel different about the Eagles maybe come draft night or even going into the 2026 season. Sidney Brown was traded today. He was traded to Atlanta Falcons, and they swapped. So what they got is they got Sidney Brown, and we got to swap 4th and 6th round picks. We went from 122 to 114, and then we went from 215 to 197. So we jumped up eight spots in one area and 18 spots in another area. What do you think you're going draft heavy because of all the finances that they're going to be paying out to people?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have any answer.
I feel that's a little bit of a telegraph. Like you're moving up a 4th round pick. That's still a high draft spot. The guy could be playing opening day for the Eagles. 6th round pick's a little different, unless it's Tom Brady. But my point is, knowing that here's the thing people keep forgetting about. We talked about signing Jordan Davis. We've talked about signing where they're going to be having to sign Jalen Carter, if they can sign Jalen Carter. But don't forget, next year brings Quinyon. Next year brings Coop. We have all these conversations. Both those guys got drafted in the same year, So that's a big discussion to be had. So I think you're going to see a very draft-laden maneuvers for guys who can be more NFL ready this season.
Right. We need more backup offensive linemen.
Well, yeah,
we need more offensive linemen.
They're more than just backup. They need an offensive lineman. They need a kind of a swing guy. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 2nd and 3rd round they pick up like a center guard, like somebody who could play center backup as well as guard. Because the way Landon Dickerson comes in and out right now, I don't know if he's going to be any much better, worse for wear. And the other thing is, and I keep bringing this up, and then people tell me I need to let it go, but I will not let it go. I really think that the whole Stoutland thing is going to play a big factor in the success of this year.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you 100% on that. They should have never got rid of him.
Yep. And also, don't forget, they also signed 2 veteran safeties today. They have signed back Marcus up, so he's back. And JT Gray, so another JT in Philly, who is I think he played for the Falcons recently. And they also restructured Jake Elliott's contract, accepting a $1 million pay cut, but he receives $5 million in guaranteed money to secure a spot on the roster. So. Again, not huge moves, but chess moves, not checker moves.
Right. All right, big guy. That's it.
All right, my friend. I will
talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, it's going to be back to back to back. Great guys, great people, great listeners, great commenters, and great call-ins. Because here he is, my man Joe. I'm bringing him in. What's up, brother?
How are you?
I'm all jazzed up on a Friday night, brother.
It's been a while since I heard from So I'm gonna bash I got called a homer
Okay.
by the producer of your show. I don't know where he is tonight. Yes, I'm calling you out, Matty B. You want to call me a
Look,
homer?
yeah, honestly, in Matty B's defense, Joe, I think he walks around just down the street, Homer, 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 just pointing at people, Homer, Homer. Like I don't know if he. Sometimes I think he's stuck on repeat and he just points at people and says Homer. But keep going. What did you do now that was so Homer-esque that he wants to roast you?
Because I said Howie the genius.
Oh yeah, here we go. Come on, guys. You know, like this. Listen, there's some hills some people die on. That's a hill he's going to die on. Listen, he will point out things that Howie didn't do right, and Howie didn't have the greatest offseason last year. There's some things that will be left desired from an offseason standpoint. Definitely about not getting offensive line depth in play. That kind of stuff, was on Howie. But nobody said he's Howie the perfect, right?
Right.
And people throw the word genius around, but he is literally playing chess when other people are playing checkers. Like, you can't deny that fact. There is 31 other teams in this league, right?
Yes.
31 other teams in this league. And if they let Howie go, I think 31 teams would take a bid for him. Like, there's not many teams that would be like, nah, we don't need Howie Roseman. I just don't think that. And just because you don't like the guy or you think he's got everybody bamboozled, whatever Matty's feelings are about him, maybe Howie stiffed Matty on a bill one time. I don't know. Maybe he stole his prom date. I don't know. I don't know what his hang up with is. I can be honest with you. See, the one thing about me is I'll tell you, I will make a change in my opinion. And I have flip-flopped. I was telling you, like, when Howie, before the Devontae Smith play, the trade or drafting, I thought he could draft for a worthless crap, right? Like, I was just like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to drafting, especially in the first few rounds, like 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like, he just swings and miss, smartest guy in the room type situation with him. He just always seemed to piss me off. Like, he couldn't get it right. And I'm like, I'm over him. Like, his contracts are great, and that's wonderful. Maybe somebody else can repeat that. But whatever he did, he had a renaissance, right? He had opportunities after opportunity to get better. Then when he drafted Devontae Smith, I'm like, all right.
I'm
not giving him flowers when he drafted Devontae Smith, but I'm all right. He's finally doing the right thing. One of the best players available, the Heisman winning trophy guy is available, and you went and got him. That's the first time he's ever done something like that. And since then, he went to Alabama. He went to Georgia. He went to Florida. He went to all these places with NFL team or NFL ready players and brought them in, which he has never done before then. So I'm like, now I have more faith in him. And the way watching him now, like how just watching him doing the draft, like all these, like, look at all the teams that made splash where people are going, look what the Panthers are doing, look at what the Jets are doing, look at what who was the Ravens are doing, look what all they're doing. These are guys who either are tripping at the finish line or couldn't make any hay in the NFL for a while, so they have to make big splash plays to make themselves relevant.
I 100% agree. I love the Eagles trade today
for Sidney Brown. With Sidney Brown, yeah. I don't hate it. He wasn't going to play. They got something for him. They moved up, like I said, eight spots in the 4th round and 18 spots in the 6th round.
Something tells me how he's going to package those picks and move up in the 1st round. There's a tight end that they want, the guy from Oregon. Everybody wants him, but the Eagles freed up money by renegotiating with Jake Elliott, and nobody gives Howie credit for that.
Yeah. Listen, he's smart about it because these guys are going to get that money most likely anyway, and any pennies you're going to save on the dollar now that maybe they don't get that later, you're going to lose out on a good player because of what's it called? Because you don't have the cap space for him.
And the Eagles do.
And the Eagles do. And they went, in the last 3 seasons, right? How many times did we hear the Eagles got like no cap space? Even if the cap goes up, they might get an extra 10, 12, 20 million. I think last year they were over the cap when they went in already before the season started.
And then
So,
how continues move.
yeah, and everybody goes, oh, he's kicking the can down the road. Well, every year he kicks the can down the road, he just recycles things and he's doing it right. Like, it's working.
A lot of people, and here's why. Honestly, Cole, I love the trade for Andy Dalton, a veteran backup in Jalen Hurts' ear. Yes, I think Tyler McKee is going to get traded. I would love it. Andy Dalton brings, and everybody that the Eagles are bringing in was either with the Packers quarterback coach. Now it's the Eagles offensive coordinator. Nobody gets that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And there is something else. The Flyers. What is up with the rejuvenated Flyers? Who saw this coming?
Well, it's typical though. They had to go like down first. Like it's like a boxer. It's like a Rocky movie, right? Like it's typical Philly, right? You have to get your ass beat first and look like you can't even see out of your eyes, and then finally come up and somehow throw haymakers but it ain't over yet. You know what I mean? They still got time. Let me just see, where are they at right? Let me pull up the Flyers standings.
They can catch the Islanders.
I think they're 5 games out of the wild card spot.
I think it's 5.5.
Yeah, something like that. I was looking at it the other day. Let's see. So they are right behind the Islanders right now at 78 points. So yeah, they're 5 points behind the Islanders. And that's a big thing.
The Islanders have the hardest schedule coming up. Nobody gets that.
No, you're absolutely right. And Rob, I want to thank you for hey, I was his first call in ever to any sports show, so that's huge.
Rob, call in a lot. Michelle
great call.
Really nice people.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I tell people this all the time. They're like, somebody asked me today, are you still doing the sports show? I saw you the other night. I'm like, yeah, I still do it. And they're like, it's like, I didn't know you're back into it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I said, I got friends in here. Like, I feel like I like, it's just like me going to the bar and hanging out with you guys, except I'm the one doing most of the talking, which is not par for the course. And might I add, I just noticed this right now. I don't want to think I forgot about it. Somebody's on the line right now besides you. Ricky is on the line. I might bring him in. You mind if we bring him in real quick?
Yeah, bring him in.
All right, Ricky, you ready, bud? Let's bring you in here. Hold on 1 second. My man Ricky, how we doing, Ricky?
Ricky.
Good.
I hope you're on the mend right now, my friend.
He's getting better.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, my friend.
He always asks about you guys. Me and Ricky are me, Ricky, and Papernick, and all the other people love to call in.
No, I appreciate that, and Ricky, I'm glad. I've been asking Joe and the other guys a lot about how you've been doing. I know I usually see a lot of times on Maddie's show, but I know for a little while you've been on the mend. So from all of us here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, we're always praying for you, and hopefully everything's working out for you, my friend. And as always say, go Birds and go Phillies, right? I think you lost them. Lost them. Let me bring it. I'm gonna take them out and I'll try bringing them back in a second. Maybe give it a chance to reset.
But friend, let's talk Phillies. I know you're almost getting ready to finish this up.
That's fine. Your time, my time.
Painter making rotation. I love it.
Oh, I love
Alford making a lineup. Goodbye, Rojas. They're gonna cut Rojas now.
Well, Rojas on an 80-day suspension. He can't even play till June, bro. There's no even a reason to cut him. He's pointless at this point.
No, it's July.
Or July. I'm sorry. Yeah, July. You're right. July.
So, and then Strolling Buffon Sixers.
Yeah.
And then
I don't even want to talk about that. I almost, dude, Joe, I was this close. For falling for it this year. This close. I'm like, you know what? Maybe Embiid will stay healthy. Maybe the team will make a run. Bunch of young guys play. Boom. boom, I'm like, all right, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna pump my brakes a little bit, and then reality set back in.
Exactly.
I feel bad for guys like Maxey who are just getting wasted. That dude's a bona fide superstar, and he is wasting his way here in Philly. And that kills me to say that. As a long-term Philly sports fan, I've always liked the Sixers. Grew up, 2001 was a big year for me. I was, 18 years old, 19 years old at that point, and 18 years old. And I thought I was going to witness something that hasn't happened since I was born.
So I'm going Wednesday. Paul George's return. I want to boot it. I want to boot a crap out of him. I really, really do.
Mhm.
When it gets announced. Yes, I'm gonna try to stream. I might go live, or I'll take some pics and I'll send it to you and Maddie B.
Sure. No, absolutely. I want to hear it. Rob's hoping the Flyers will make the playoffs. Listen, man, there is nothing like playoff hockey in Philly, man.
It's been a while, Rob.
It's been a very long time. Like, I don't even know what I do with myself. I'm like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. If the Flyers make the playoffs, I won't know what to do with myself. I'm not going to fall for they're going to win the Stanley Cup or anything. But it would be nice to see guys who've been on the team who deserve some playoff action, and some of these young guys to see how they do in the playoffs and let them get a taste of the playoffs. Like that's what I want. That's all I want. I think we lost Ricky, but that's okay. Well, Ricky, if you're listening, man, we love you. Chime in on the messenger. We'll get you next time, my man. Keep going.
Ever since they moved Minchcroft, he's been on fire. That's all you had to do. Nobody would listen.
I listen, man. You live, you learn. It is that the Flyers make some baffling decisions in my eyes. But back real quick, I want to talk about Painter. For those who know, so Painter in the again spring training, batting .213 right now in 4 games. He's pitched 11.2 innings, 8 strikeouts, and he has a 0.77 WHIP. So yeah. Here's the thing is, I think what makes it exciting that Andrew Painter's coming out is because I think the fear of failure for us with Andrew Painter. Because like Don Brown, he was untouchable. He's untouchable. We heard that. We could have had some great players on this team if we were willing to move Andrew Painter, right?
Yes.
So the point is, if he fails, then it was an all failure. We lost out on these players, and he sucked.
I don't think Painter's going to fail.
So far, I'm going to agree with you, my friend. I'm going to agree with you.
On surgery 2 years ago. That's what turned it around for him.
Well, listen, these guys are the guys that throw like that their whole life. They're getting this Tommy John surgery earlier, which maybe in some ways is a blessing because you can bounce back from it better, quicker, heal better than when you're in your like late 20s and 30s. I mean, he's 22 years old. He's a 6'7" dude. He's a monster on the mound. He's throwing downhill. He's went topping off at 98. Ricky says, "Let's go Flyers." Absolutely, Ricky. And that's the thing is like we've been told. Like, listen, it's kind of like what was it called? With the Sixers, the process, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of called like the process. So what did they tell us, Joey? They said, "Be patient, Philly," which is like the worst thing you tell a Philly fan. Be patient, right? Be patient. When Embiid's healthy, blah. When this happens, blah. We're gonna get all these guys together. We're gonna get these trades. We're gonna do blah, and then things start to happen, and then our patience wasn't paid off, right?
Right.
We should have got rid of Ben Simmons and kept Jimmy Buckets. We should have done. There's a lot of things that we should have done, but we didn't as a Sixers as the organization. So that's where Andrew Painter and Justin Crawford come in. We were told to be patient. I really thought Crawford was going to come up last year. I knew Painter with the surgery that was going to definitely not happen, right?
Right.
But I thought Crawford would have came up. At least I was saying by the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break, I thought that at least maybe when they extended in September, they extend the bench.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And maybe for the best, maybe not. We'll find out. We can't go back in time and find out if we're right or wrong. But so far, what I've seen, it's nice to see some young guys. Now, can they produce? Like, are they going to be like an Alec Boehm and a Bryson Stott? You know, where they come up and they don't really, they're okay. You know, I hope, and we're paying Andrew Painter in 5 years a big contract.
Yes.
I hope so. I hope.
Crawford reminds me of a young Aaron Rowan. I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
I seen him in Lehigh last year. I went to tons of games. Looking at today, he turned. Yes, Ricky is doing fantasy hockey with me.
Yeah.
Ricky, good at that.
Oh, you guys are, dude. That's one thing I could never get into is anything outside of fantasy football. And even that takes too much of my time. I only did fantasy baseball and fantasy hockey when I was single.
I got you.
That's when I was like, we were doing we were writing all the stuff in copybooks. You know what I mean? Like we had to like trust each other, getting our points and stuff. Like that's how long ago that was, Joe. I have zero time for that. My wife would literally murder me. Like that's how bad it would be.
So back to Crawford, he turned a triple, which would have been a single from everybody else. He turned a triple today. I like how he was batting ninth today against a lefty. That's your lineup. I love Harper's comments where he has to walk more. Does that prove he's ready? Yes.
That's awesome. I mean, I listen. Nothing proves you're ready until you prove yourself. Like we always say, like you don't know if somebody you draft in the NFL is a bust or not. You can't, like people are saying Campbell's a bust for the Eagles. We don't know that.
He's not.
Brandon Graham was a bust, right? Jason Kelsey was a bust. A lot of guys were busts. Some guys, you know, they peak later. Some guys peak right away. Some guys don't even have to peak at all. Some guys are just winners. Like I take Devontae Smith. In my eyes, that guy's a winner, right? He is a natural born winner. That's what that guy does. He only wins. He wins Heisman trophies. He wins national championships. He comes here, he wins Super Bowls. That guy wins, and he doesn't change. His demeanor's the same. He is humble as the day is long, but he also plays like a guy who knows he's a gosh darn superstar, right? He knows. That's the kind of guys I like. You know, A.J. Brown, I'm tired of hearing about him because you know what? We've been nothing but great to that man. He was stewing in Tennessee, right? He was stewing over the Titans. He was getting his numbers. He had Ryan Tannehill throwing to him. Whoop-de-freaking-do. But since he's came here, we've made him one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL, at least when he signed his contract originally, right? And then he got a contract extension and more guaranteed freaking money. And he's got a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl ring. He's like top like 5-ish in most categories or higher in for wide receivers. And he wants to leave because it's all about him, my friend.
I don't think if I'm the Eagles, I would let him.
Think he wants to leave, or you don't want to let him. You don't let him leave. What's the question? What's your answer here?
He wants to leave, but I don't let him leave. I make it miserable for him.
Yeah, but here's my thing with that, and I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you, but you can't have a malcontent, and he is a malcontent. He's a guy who spews shit on social media. You know, he tries to be a good guy in the locker room, but then at the same time, he can't help himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he can't help himself.
You're right.
And that's a problem. I've been coaching for 12-ish years or longer, something like that. It could be like 15 years. I lost track. Been coaching football for years. We're in a league that if you don't want to play for our team, you want to go somewhere else, you have to sign. But you're in our area, you have to sign a waiver, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've never, and I've had teams like, nope, not sign that waiver.
Wow.
Like, really, you're not going to sign the waiver for the kid to come play here? I'll sign any waiver. If you, Joe, are on my team and you're unhappy, I'm not going to. Now, listen, these are young kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and keep you here. You know, I got guys who I'm getting ready to go to high school and become big players for high school. I got scouts on my who watch for high schools all over the area who come and watch my kids play. They want to know what the next big high school guy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be here, get lost. You go somewhere else and maybe get lucky with somebody who cares about you going to high school and having a good career.
I don't think he's going to do good anywhere else.
Elephant in the room thinks AJ has a love affair with Vrabel. He does. I mean, that was his old coach. Then I guess the success of last year of New England made him feel that way. We'll talk about that later, Rob. I'll be honest with you. Delco Day, there's some things I'll just tell you later about it. I don't want to tell you on the air. Ricky's also doing basketball fantasy. Ricky, you're not my friend. You're out of your goddamn mind.
Ricky does baseball. He wants to do baseball fantasy. Ricky's actually won a championship for NFL fantasy.
Did he?
Yes. You want to know who his quarterback was?
Who's that?
Derek May.
No way.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Ricky's awesome. Ricky, I bowl with Ricky.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Where do you guys bowl at?
Deptford.
Okay. All right. I did not know that. You see, look at it. I learn something new every day.
Yeah. I seen your old former host a lot.
Deptford. Who's out there in Deptford that I used to work with?
No, I see him at the Wings games.
Pat Bernard?
Yes. The Gobbler,
man.
as they call him.
The Gobbler, man.
And
I still talk to him. How's he doing?
He's all right. He's always on his TikTok.
He's doing TikToks a lot. Good for him, man.
It always comes off on him, and it's so funny. And he gets mad. And then before that, I seen Madman Mike Russell a lot.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's the one thing I've never got a chance to go see Mike Russell. I will one day. It's kind of my fault. I was supposed to, and the one thing got canceled.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right,
brother. Let me I'm gonna wrap this up here.
And then
anything else before I let you go?
Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. Keep it up.
Oh man, no, you guys are amazing for listening to our garbage we spew. I always say.
Hey, Papernick, shout you out. You always shout me out when you get on. I'm shouting you out.
Yeah, great community we got here. Give Mike. Hey, listen, you gotta give Matty B something, right? He built a great community with some great guys. So I appreciate you all, as well. Joe, take it easy, man. Be safe. I will talk to you next. I'll be back on Sunday, of course. So I will talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, bro. So, like I said, I'll be back Sunday with Mikey, our boy Mike, for Philly AM Sports. So, as you know, we wake up early for you guys. I don't sleep. I just think about sports. My wife gets mad at me. We grumble about it. Next Thursday, get a little Al preview. I will be home watching the beginning of the season Thursday, and then you get me and Matty B for the Fightins final, for the first one, for the inaugural one of the 2026 season. That's right. You get me and Matty B going one-on-one. Of course, it's always going to be, we're going to sit there and be civil to each other, as we always are. Here's your lineup for the week. Wednesday, Matty got the Ducks game. Thursday was the Kings game. And then, of course, Saturday coming up, San Jose Shark game is your boy, Mike Lara. So you get him Saturday night and Sunday morning. He's going to be exhausted, but don't worry. He always brings the energy. I'm looking forward to the start of the Philly season. Don't forget all the other Pittsburgh stuff that's going on the rest of the season here. And also, I forgot one last thing. Here is a special Sunday that they're launching at the game called the Schwarbomb Sunday. It is a mini helmet filled with a soft serve ice cream topped with funnel-caked fried strawberry Uncrustable. That sounds amazing, by the way. I mean, my diabetes is going through the roof just talking about it. With a strawberry sauce and Fruity Pebbles cereal. I love Fruity Pebbles cereal. Love it, love it, love it. I love putting it on ice cream. I've always been doing it as a kid. It's almost like this was meant for me. I love it. That's awesome. I love putting out. I always put out the little things about the Phillies concessions. I love it. I absolutely love it. Rob, as always, love you, brother. Joe Hal, fun calling in. Always fun having you call in. Sunday is the preview for the Phillies. Yes, we also have that. That's right. You're absolutely. Thank God you're paying attention because I'm not. Because I'll also be on Sunday afternoons. You're going to be a little bit of me this weekend. A little bit too much of Al. You're in a lot of Al. So me, Matty, and Mikey Lara will be together for that Sunday Phillies preview of the 2026 season, just breaking down the Phillies. So I know we talked a lot of Phillies tonight, but I have fun doing it. I will try it, Joe. I will try it. I will absolutely try it. I'll try anything twice, dude. Does it look like the body of a guy who's never tried everything in front of his face? No. Yes, I will try. Next, I don't see anything on this. I love funnel cake. I love Uncrustable, especially strawberry. I feel it's an unsung Uncrustable. Strawberry sauce. I love Fruity Pebbles. Give me some vanilla ice cream on that. The only thing that bothers me is the lactose intolerance, but I can take a pill for that. I'm all about it, Joey Hal. And I will do it. I'll do a little video when I do it, a little reel for you to check it out. I think it's awesome. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, bringing the energy, bringing the awesomeness, talking your Phillies, starting less than a week away, guys. I'm super pumped for it. Eagles, we're going to be doing a lot of draft talk. I'm hoping to get a couple guests on. My boy Dave, we're trying to line up a spot where you can come in on a Friday. He's on Twitter. I'm going to put up his Twitter for him. I'm going to put some information up. He is my guy who I listen to for the draft. Like, he follows these guys through college. He interviews them. He writes some amazing articles. You got to check him out. I'll have Dave. I'll get all his information. We'll be talking a lot of draft in the coming weeks. Can we talk Flyers a lot? We will talk some Flyers. I will bring some more Flyers conversation in. I wasn't really prepared for it tonight, Ricky, to be honest with you. There was just so many things going on with the Eagles in the last 24, 48 hours. And then, of course, the Phillies after the WBC. There's a lot to cover on that. So I will get some Flyers. Trust me, you. Probably talk a little bit more of it on Sunday. I'll have it ready for you then. So other than that, guys, I want to appreciate you. Show out some love. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. And, go Birds, go Phils, go Flyers. Whatever, Sixers. Do what you got to do. Talk to you guys soon. I'll see you next time.